unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited. Right now, right now. I am free, I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited. Right now, right now. I have no fear, I am magnificent. Love and light are why I'm here. I have no fear, I am magnificent. Right now, right now. I have no fear, I am magnificent. Love and light are why I'm here. I have no fear, I am magnificent. Right now, right now.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, I'm Beverly. As chairperson, I welcome you and those online in Unity of Appleton. What I love about Unity is there are no prejudices here. I love about Unity, here we go. Neither who you are, what you believe, you belong here in this spiritual community. And there's a saying in all Addictive Anonymous groups, take what you like and leave the rest. I'm going to start a little bit, if one of you remember that we were supposed to do an attitude of gratitude journal. And I said yes, I committed to it, because I did it years ago. And I got in the car to go back home, and I resented that I committed it. And it's been a little difficult for me, but I did it. And I want to read to you what I wrote yesterday. The 12 powers of unity, they help me survive the bitter and the sweet. Unity of Appleton has helped me as I am learning to live the life I would not have chosen because of my husband and my age and our health. And it works. That wasn't on my agenda. Okay. Now, the daily word is purpose. And my purpose is the 12 powers of unity. And here they are on screen. I've recently written a poem about Unity's 12 powers and a way for me to remember them. The title, With My Eyes Wide Open, came to me in a dream. The first half of the poem was fairly easy for me. Then I got writer's block, and it took me a few days. And then I remembered Reverend Phil Schmedstad, who lives in Minnesota and is our interim guide minister while we search for a minister. After listening to a message from him, I knew how to continue with my poem. And he said, resources come after commitment. So, here's my poem. With my eyes wide open. There's a joy that this life and earth provides, even though sometimes life is bitter. I can decide to try the bittersweet, walking the walk I talk. With my eyes wide open, into life I walk. It is all part of the circle of learning, for I have found life is a journey My goal is to embrace the bitter and enjoy the sweet. Living the inherent 12 powers, I am complete. Power, strength, will can be found within me. Wisdom is for understanding and release. Love, faith, divine order are the most powerful. Life with imagination and enthusiasm is joyful. To love me is the beginning of this journey. As I go around and round the circle of learning, to believe that here in the universe of divine order, to define my faith, helped me to turn the corner. Power, strength, will go in hand with all the others, giving me energy to embrace what is to discover. Wisdom, understanding, release gives me peace after commitment, resources, and miracles never cease. With imagination and enthusiasm, I will live my life knowing I can live with bitter and sweet without strife. I learned these inherent gifts from God are for eternity through this unity of Appleton community. Now I've got to find where I need to go. It's the vision. Please speak with me. A word powerfully transformed through shared spiritual awakening. And our mission, advancing the movement of spiritual awakening and transformation through unity, a positive path for spiritual living. Values, abundance, acceptance, community, diversity, integrity, joy, and love. And we celebrate our children. Unity of Appleton sees the divinity in all children and nurtures their unfolded spirituality. And the daily word, purpose. I pursue my purpose with passion. Over the course of my life, I have discovered what has kindled my passions, captivated by my attention, and made me feel most alive. My passions lead me to discover my purpose to which I choose and devote my time and my life. My highest spiritual purpose is to live from my divine nature. My divine gifts of life, love, and wisdom express uniquely through my passions, fulfilling me while demonstrating the truth of my being. I listen to the still, small voice of spirit within to discern the best way to fulfill my purpose. I heed its call to learn, discover, and grow. It's never too early or too late to embark upon the journey of a lifetime. I am ready, willing, and more than able. And now John 18, verse 37, for this I was born, and for this I came into the world, to testify to the truth. And say with me on the top line, I pursue my purpose with passion.
We have fallen down again tonight. In this world it's hard to get it right. Try to make your heart feel like a glove. What it needs is love, love, love. Everybody wants to love. Everybody wants to be loved. Oh,
Now it's my pleasure to once again introduce Holly Tuller. It's my third time with you today.
Tulys.
Tulys?
Tulys.
Somebody told me different.
No, Tulys.
Tulys. Tulys. Okay. My pronunciation. Okay. She's a regular speaker here at Unity of Appleton, and we are grateful to have her here again today. She is a holistic money coach with Queen of Coins, Holistic Money Coaching, LLC, a certified yoga and meditation instructor, and a caregiver. She believes in abundance for all and that healing our relationship with money is an invitation and opportunity to heal our planet and ourselves. She serves clients one-on-one and offers local classes and group coaching centered around personal finance, yoga, and sometimes a combination of both. Here's Holly.
Good morning. Thank you for having me again. As Beverly stated, I've spoke here, this is my 5th time speaking here now, and I've shared a lot around spirituality and money and the energy of money, and I thought that it would be nice maybe for you to hear the story of how I became involved in working with money and other people in their money to begin with. So that is my humble offering for today, and I hope it inspires you to see what kind of mess you would be certified to teach yoga. As much as I love yoga, and as much as I acknowledge that the 8-limbed Ashtanga yoga path will always be a part of who I am and what I do, I also knew there was something more for me, another vocation, another calling. I wish you could follow me around and be my coach. My fellow trainees' acknowledgement about my ability to hold space, to offer support, and to be fully present with those around me inspired me to consider becoming a life coach. I had just gone through a divorce from a marriage that included verbal and emotional abuse. Like 99% of all domestic abuse cases, my situation also included financial abuse. He made more money than I did. He made all of the financial decisions, down to which groceries were acceptable to purchase. After paying my portion of the household expenses, I was left with $20 every 2 weeks. When it became clear to me that I needed to figure out a way to make more money, in addition to holding a job and homeschooling my daughter, who has a disability, I sought additional work and was hindered from doing so. I remember pulling up at a gas pump one day while taking my daughter and her friend on a local outing, only to find that my debit card and the small amount of cash that I had been taken from my wallet without my knowing or my permission. Not by a thief, by my husband. It was a mess. Needless to say, the situation brought about a lot of soul searching. How had I become involved in such an unhealthy dynamic? I spent a while in shock. Then I spent a long time in blame. I launched accusations regularly. You're an abuser. You're controlling me. You're a bully. You're cruel. It was a big, big mess, and I was the victim. And then one day, in the middle of this mess, I had an epiphany. I was disempowered. I was codependent. I made myself available for a relationship that included these things. I harbored limiting beliefs about relationships and around finances. And it was my responsibility to unlearn the beliefs and to create new neural pathways that would allow me to have a healthy relationship with money and a healthy relationship with men. God had shaken me to awaken me. This harsh awakening created an insatiable desire within me to learn all that I could about money. I began educating myself in all matters related to personal finance, including earning, saving, spending, investing, mindset, limiting beliefs, inner child healing, manifestation, forgiveness, and self-worth. I checked out tons of books from the library. I devoured blog posts. I listened to podcasts. I started following members of the FIRE community. FIRE is an acronym for Financial Independence, Retire Early. I began to heed the advice, I'm not going to retire early, by the way. I began to heed the advice of all of these money professionals. Through my studies, I slowly became aware that I had been carrying some deeply ingrained messages. I had been operating from the belief that I did not need to address financial matters for myself because a man would come along and take care of me financially. Because I had never examined and therefore never took responsibility for changing my childhood programming around money, these programs were running me. You see, as I was growing up, my father always provided for our family financially. My mother stayed home cooking, cleaning, and caring for me and my siblings. My subconscious mind was a sponge during this stage of my development. Therefore, I had taken in during my formative years that this is what men do. They provide financially. So as long as I was operating under this belief system, I did not need to hone any financial skills for myself. I did not need to consider making serious money because my husband would surely take care of me financially, my needs, my bills, my retirement, all of it. Again, none of this was conscious. In addition, because my father was the primary breadwinner, he made all of the financial decisions, including those around spending, saving, and investing. Luckily for us, he was and is a hardworking man who was intelligent and savvy with money. He managed it wisely. He worked overtime to pay off our house. He helped us open up our first savings accounts, and he bought us our first vehicles, however junky. So in addition to learning that men take care of women financially, I also learned some great financial lessons. And underneath these lessons that I'm so grateful to have received, I also took on the belief that men not only make the money, they are the ones who make the decisions around money and who manage the money. I realized through my money studies and subsequent internal examination that I believed investing was too complicated or confusing for me, a woman, to learn about, much less participate in. The stock market? Ew. Can I just make a pot of soup? While neither of my parents had any conscious intention of teaching me disempowering beliefs around women and money, they seeped in nonetheless, for better or for worse. And therefore, they seeped into my marriage, for better or for worse. Up until the point that I was being controlled financially, I had no idea. I had never examined the programming that I had taken in around the topic of money. Now, don't get me wrong, as I've shared, some of these beliefs were really great and have served me really well, such as work hard, stay focused, and set clear goals. And some were not so helpful, such as the belief that I must rely on a man to support me financially, and that women are not smart enough nor capable enough to do so for themselves. At this point, I was working through a divorce. It was a mess. I had begun attending therapy weekly, undergoing a process called brain spotting in order to process my trauma from childhood and from my marriage. I had been diagnosed and have almost completely healed from a generalized anxiety disorder that seems to have been mostly an expression of unprocessed trauma. Brain spotting also helped me transform my relationship with money by rewiring my subconscious mind to open and receive more helpful and empowering beliefs. I consciously and intentionally worked to create new neural pathways around finances, which I further solidified by creating new habits and by taking action. I began earning and saving more money. I taught myself how to invest for the long term. I tenaciously worked to pay off $50,000 worth of student loans. And of course, as I mentioned, I had invested in an intensive yoga studies program, which included a deep commitment to my own practices of movement, meditation, and self-study. I was ready to move forward. I knew that I had a lot of perspective, skills, and gifts to share. I wanted to use all of the pain and challenges I had overcome to help others. I wanted to make something beautiful from the mess. I wish you could follow me around and be my coach. I decided to become a life coach. I started researching programs. I interviewed coaches. I traveled to Chicago to attend a training demonstration. Ultimately, I realized I'd never actually been coached before. Heck, at that point, I wrongly believed that coaching was mostly about doling out advice and accolades. It occurred to me that I should start my journey to becoming a coach by actually hiring one myself. I reached out to our dear and mutual friend, Sarah Crawford, who we all know and love. She had been most helpful in answering my questions when I was researching programs, and her energy resonated the most strongly with my own. To my surprise, the cost of working with her monthly was almost as much as what I paid for rent. I had never invested that amount of money into something that seemed, quite frankly, pretty frivolous. Paying the same amount that it cost me to live in my apartment each month for a coach? Who was I? I had been studying money for several years at this point. Was this a good investment or a foolish investment? Would coaching really be worth that money? Could I really trust myself in undertaking this expense? Did I even need coaching? I had been in intensive therapy for a couple of years. I had completed my yoga studies program. I was studying money and ultimately myself a ton. Was I simply playing out another old pattern and being drawn to hire a coach from a place of incessant disconnect or unworthiness? Was I stuck in the cycle of perpetually doing the work? Would I ever feel as if I were healed? From my vantage point now, 4 years later, hiring my own coach was one of the most powerful and transformational decisions I have ever made. In the course of our work together, my incredible coach guided me through completion exercises around ending my marriage. I was able to shed deeper awareness on my own codependent programming, which was ultimately the foundation that had led me into that marriage to begin with. Because Sarah is trained as an ontological coach, with ontology being the branch of metaphysics that studies ways of being, she is equipped with tools to support her clients in specifically addressing their ways of being, as opposed to patterns around having or doing. So like in our common culture, the idea is you want to get some things, you want to have certain things, and once you have these things, you're going to be able to do what you want to do, and then you're finally going to be who you want to be. Ontology and ontological coaching in particular kind of flips that idea on its head, and you really want to start with who are you being? Everything starts with who you're being. And then that leads you to the actions you're taking or what you're doing, which brings you to having what you want. My incredible coach, Sarah, held space for me as I sought validation, played the victim, examined the fears that challenged me, cried openly, sat silently, laughed raucously. Her thoughtful, pointed questions further shifted some of my long-held limiting beliefs. Her coaching skills and her intuitive insights helped me to create more income, to be more deeply committed to my own self-care, to hold myself accountable, and to continue taking responsibility for my own life and my own choices. More than this, I learned to trust myself, to see my value and my worth, to see and use and share my gifts, to laugh at myself and to hold myself powerfully, to like myself, to honor and respect myself, and yes, ultimately to love and appreciate myself and all that I'd been through. I began to have compassion, understanding, and forgiveness for that big, big mess. The assertion and stand within the realm of coaching that clients are the experts in their own lives and that they have everything they need within them to create their realities in a way that serves their highest selves completely resonates with my own experience of being coached. As an independent thinker, I have found, slowly but ever increasingly, that following my own knowing, my own intuition, and my own internal guidance is always the most powerful and right and true path. At some point through my work, I saw that given my self-taught knowledge and growth around financial matters, as well as my ability to be deeply present with others as a result of my practices, that I would make a really good money coach. I could support others in their growth, in their journeys, in releasing their limiting beliefs, and in their own healing around money. My mess could become my message. I completed financial coach training through the University of Wisconsin in Madison, where I learned the basics of being an impactful financial coach, how to listen, reflect, ask questions, and when to offer support. My own studies, experience, and financial success had proven to me that a holistic approach to money, which is to say an approach that addresses not just the physical, not just the dollars, but also the emotional, mental, energetic, and spiritual realms, is not only powerful, but necessary. In fact, I cannot conceptualize a better way to approach healing in general and healing around finances in particular. So I signed up for a holistic life coaching certification program that has trained me professionally to address the whole person and to acknowledge that each of us is a part of a larger community, a larger whole. As all of us here at Unity know, we are one. Now, at this point in my journey, I can say that I've successfully homeschooled my daughter, for whom I continue to care. I've survived domestic and financial abuse. I'm a trained and experienced yoga instructor. I'm a holistic money coach who is just about to become officially certified through a program accredited by the International Coaching Federation, the gold standard in coaching. I work with and support those who wish to heal their own relationship with money as they expand into their fullest financial expression. My mess is my message. Thank you.
Thank you, Holly. I now invite you to begin to prepare yourself for reflective personal prayer and guided musical meditation, after which I ask that you remain in essential silence during the music. If you choose to, you may close your eyes. Feel the weight of your body as it relaxes into your chair and you let go of today's anxieties. Feel your feet on the solid earth beneath as you let go of tomorrow's worries. Become aware in this moment of your breathing. As you breathe in life and breathe out love. Breathe in life and breathe out love. And as you become centered, focus your attention on your beautiful heart, your beautiful Christ self, and become filled with gratitude. And allow into yourself that which fills you with peace and light. So we begin. Now I invite you to gently return to this place.
Thank you, John and Tom. You know how hard it is for me to be up here now. Now we move from meditation to our affirmation of prosperity. This is a time in our service when those of us who think of Unity of Appleton as spiritual home practice, putting spirit first in our financial life, we know that when we do this, not only does it prosper the spiritual community we love, it also supports our own spiritual growth and prosperity. Let this be a time to connect with the guidance of Spirit in you and give whatever amount Spirit guides you to give. Whatever that amount is this morning, take it in your hand and bless it with your love. If you are one of the growing numbers of us who give electronically, take the gift into your heart. Feel free to bless the plate as it passes by, but let yourself feel as grateful as you can to God in you as your one source. Then please join in our affirmation of prosperity. Unity of Appleton is alive with the energy of Spirit in the flow of divine abundance and radiant with unlimited possibilities. And our celebration of giving and receiving, divine love in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I joyfully give and willingly receive. I give in love, and I trust God as my source.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. We're mindful what we're saying, seeking higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and knowing God is everywhere. Every thought becomes a prayer. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. We're mindful what we're saying, seeking higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and knowing God is everywhere. Our every thought becomes a prayer.
We've each given individually or as part of an individual family. Now it's time to receive this gift as a spiritual community. In the spirit of divine order, we are grateful for these and other gifts on our continuing path of prosperity and service, and so it is. Announcements, announcements, announcements. There's more to it, but I can't sing it. Okay, the sound immersion event with Karen Pujals is tonight at 7 p.m. Hope to see you there. Fall is coming, and we have a picnic to look forward to. Our fall kickoff picnic will be on the lawn Sunday, September 11th. The board will provide a main dish with a vegetarian option. Bring a dish to share your own beverage and bring a friend. Please sign up at the contact and serve table. Spiritual growth opportunities starting soon. The Art of Spiritual Peacemaking by James Twyman. This book study will take several months to complete. Start date Monday, September 12th from 6 to 7 p.m. at the home of Louise Taylor. If interested, contact Louise at 920-229-3495. The Only Little Prayer You Need by Deborah Landwehr Engel. This book study, led by Deb Walker, will last 6 weeks. Sign up and by emailing Deb at riseandshine03@aol.com or sign up at the Connect and Serve table. Start date Wednesday, September 14th from 7 to 8 p.m. in the boardroom at Unity. And coming in October, led by Karen Sophie.
5 principles.
Oh, 5 principles led by Karen Sophie, thank you. And Life Visioning led by Jay Kyle. And the paraprotection, please say it with me. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is with us, and all is well. And now, the Amazing Synchronicity team.
Hey.
Well, ignore that one.
Yeah, we can ignore
Yeah.
that.
You know this one.
We
It's nice
practiced
and
something
short.
else, so you know, and you know it.
It's
So.
not this one.
I
This
thought
is-
I
this is
did
Thank You
something
Live.
I don't
It's
know.
really
I don't
short.
know who does the slides, but she messed up. So forgive me for that.
You know
It's all
this
right.
one. Thank you, love.
Exactly.